This is Quadrant Christianity Lecture 38. In the book of Samuel, David says that the penalty of taking the lamb ought to be paying it back 4 times over. The prophet Nathan then tells David that similarly he should be punished for having sex with Uriah's wife and having Uriah killed. The punishment for stealing in the Bible was returning 4 times over. Zacchaeus tells Jesus in the Bible that he would return the money he took, tax collecting 4 times over. 2 Samuel 12:6. He shall restore the lamb fourfold. In Luke 19:8, the King James Version. If I have wrongfully exacted ought I restore fourfold. From this statement of Zacchaeus, we are to understand that fourfold the amount of that which was stolen was the restoration the law required of a thief. This was the extreme penalty the law imposed. Many modern Pentateuch or Protestants point to 4 criteria for canonicity to justify the books that have been included in the Old and New Testaments: apostolic origin, universal acceptance, liturgical use, and consistent message. Martin Luther and Erasmus called into question 4 books in the Bible. These 4 books are seen as apocrypha by Martin Luther. They were Hebrews, James, Jude, Revelation. In the original Hebrew Bible, 1st and 2nd Kings are a single book, as are 1st and 2nd books of Samuel. When this was translated into Greek in the last few centuries BCE, Kings was joined with Samuel in a 4-part work called the Book of Kingdoms. The Greek Orthodox branch of Christianity continues to use the Greek translation, but when a Latin translation was made for the Western Church, Kingdoms was first retitled the Book of Kings, parts 1 to 4, and eventually both Kings and Samuel were separated into 2 books each. Then what is now commonly known as 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel are called by Vulgate, in imitation of the Septuagint, 1 Kings and 2 Kings respectively. What is now commonly known as 1 Kings and 2 Kings would be 3 Kings and 4 Kings in old Bibles before the year 1516, such as the Vulgate and the Septuagint respectively. The division we know today, used by Protestant Bibles and adopted by Catholics, came into use in 1517. Some Bibles still preserve the old denomination. For example, Douay-Rheims Bible. Christian churches are commonly described as having a cruciform architecture. In early Christian, Byzantine, and Eastern Orthodox forms of church architecture, this is likely to mean a tetraconch plan, a Greek cross with arms of equal length, or later a cross in square plan. In the Western churches, a cruciform architecture usually, though not exclusively, means a church built with the layout developed in Gothic architecture. This layout comprises the following: an east end, a west end, north and south transepts, and the crossing, which is in later designs often was under a tower or dome. In churches that are not oriented with the altar at the geographical east end, it is usual to refer to the altar as a liturgical east, and so forth.